From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on The Debate. Arnab Goswami on The Debate.
Ladies and gentlemen, when this war is over, and it will be, because Trump is now trying to find an exit and he's saying the war will end soon because he has no more targets left. When this war ends, remember, this was not the most inhuman war, not the most unnecessary war. This was the most unethical war. This was not a war, ladies and gentlemen. It was, for some people, especially for Donald Trump and his minion, Pete Hegseth, this was target practice. And who were the targets? Innocent people, civilians, non-combatants, school children. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, this was target practice between nations. And who is this war between? Is this war a war between leaders? Because on 13 to 24 June 2025, there was a major conflict between Netanyahu and Khomeini. Then we were told it's a war between Netanyahu and Ayatollah Khomeini. And then on 28th February, it became between Trump, Netanyahu, and Khomeini, on the day Khomeini was killed. And we thought it was between these three people. And then between 1st and 2nd of March, it became between Trump and Netanyahu and the IRGC. And then on the 8th of March, it became between Trump and Netanyahu and Ayatollah Khomeini's son, Mojtaba Khomeini. So I am asking tonight, is it a war between leaders? And if it is a war between leaders, we ask those leaders, why are you killing innocent people on all sides tonight? You see, remember when I say this tonight, remember, the Western media has never failed the world as much as it has done now. It's not a media. It is a journalistic carcass that is decaying, which through all the last few days never raised their voice. All these so-called Western media, all of these channels should, ladies and gentlemen, including Al Jazeera, for being partisan and selfish and not speaking for their people. These people should apologize to the world repeatedly, but the world won't forgive them this time. Is it a war between leaders, or is it a war between armies? And if it is a war between armies, such powerful armies, number 1 in the world, the US Army, number 16 in the world, the Iranian army, then why are these armies so weak? Why are they so opportunistic that they are killing civilians? Why don't they have the guts to fight each other face to face? What are these Americans doing, dropping bombs and running away, hit and run? Is it a war between leaders or armies or warheads? These people think that they can show off about the Tomahawk. They say the Tomahawk is so accurate that it can strike within precision of a few meters. That means Trump deliberately used the Tomahawk to kill 150 school children, schoolgirls. Ladies and gentlemen, in Menab, if they have no circular error, or they have these expensive warheads like a Patriot, they say it costs $250,000 every dollars per missile, every Patriot missile. If Iran has the Shahid 136 that creates havoc over the Middle East, where is the precision of these missiles? They've all failed. What about the hypersonic Fateh 2 that Iran has used for the first time in this conflict? Why are they targeting civilians with these missiles? Why are they, if they're saying we're going to hit the US fleet, the Iranians, then why are they targeting civilians and civilian targets and the Dubai airport? Ladies and gentlemen, the point is, this is the most unethical war, because this is not a war between leaders, between armies, between warheads, between missiles. And even if it is so, All these leaders are such cowards that they want to make it a war among the people. People are being deliberately killed. School children are being deliberately killed. Innocent men, women, and children are non-combatants who don't wear the uniform, who lead ordinary lives, shopkeepers, bus conductors, innocent people, school children. You think this visual was ever shown in detail or analyzed in any of the fake Western media? Did they show and analyze the visual? Do they have the guts to say today to American CENTCOM that you use the killing of children, schoolgirls in Iran as target practice? Is hitting schoolgirls in their school in Minab by a tomahawk not deliberate? Why are residential areas in southern Iran being attacked? Why are old men and women unable to run out of their apartments, or even if they could have, would not have survived? Why are they being killed? Why was the Gandhi hospital targeted in northern Tehran? Why was an apartment building hit in Beirut? And what is my interest? My interest is to tell you tonight, ladies and gentlemen, tell you repeatedly that there is an attempt to make it a war among people. And don't think that Iran is only a victim. Why did Iran strike the Dubai airport? The visuals are there. Did they strike the Dubai airport? Did they use their drones to attack airports in Azerbaijan? Did the Iranian drone strike right next to a school building in Azerbaijan? What were the Iranians trying to do? Take revenge? And if all of this is happening, I want to remind you tonight that the biggest culprit in all of this is Donald Trump and his minion, his fast-talking but really ridiculous-sounding Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, who had the temerity to say, I don't care about global institutions, I don't care about stupid rules of engagement, I don't care about nation-building quagmires. I don't care about democracy. I don't care about democracy, politically correct wars. I want to fight to win. Who the hell are you, Pete Hegseth, to talk like that? And why is Donald Trump so weak that he can't rein you in? In fact, I want to ask the American people, is Donald Trump his own man? Or is he being controlled by the Saudis, by the Israelis, and by Pete Hegseth? Is Donald Trump suffering? And think about it, people of America, because I will ask this question. No American television anchor has the guts to ask this question. No, they don't. No, they can't. Is Donald Trump suffering from a Stockholm syndrome, where he's so weak and so frail, he's been surrounded by a group of people, may include people from his own family, who for their business interests have decided to go in for a certain strategy because it suits them financially. Think about it. You have been thinking that Donald Trump is the man in control. Well, I'm not trying to say this to give him a benefit of doubt, but it increasingly seems to me that Donald Trump has been strategically kidnapped by a group of people, including Pete Hegseth, including the Israelis, including the Saudis, including people from his own family, who are using this as experimental ground and target practice. Now, in all of this tonight, viewers, spare a thought for the 150 school children in Minab, and ask them what price they paid and why they had to pay the price and why nobody spoke up for them. Because it was not convenient to write stories about the graveyards of young girls who were killed by Donald Trump and his minion, Pete Hegseth. If they don't ask questions now, they probably never will. But if there is an attempt to make this a war that will be fought by the people, Donald Trump has failed. The people will not fight the war. The people will resist the war. I saw the pictures that came out from Tehran today, from Iran. Large crowds standing in, and I am no supporter of Ayatollah Khamenei. But when I see those crowds, I realize, and everyone does, that Donald Trump has lost the war. Because the people are not on his side. And I'm not just talking about the people in Iran. Trust me, give it a month. Even the people in the USA are not on Donald Trump's side. If you're watching this in America, I know that you're tolerating Trump right now. Your country is burning. You have huge debt. There is domestic violence. The MAGA community knows that Donald Trump has failed them. This has been the most embarrassing possible defeat for Donald Trump. So hear me, people of America, it's not the people of Iran who are fighting Donald Trump. It's the people of America who are standing up to Donald Trump. If they are not now, maybe they will in a few weeks. Watch the space. Read my lips. Now let's debate.
An elementary school struck inside Iran. Over 120 schoolgirls aged between 7 and 12 killed in cold blood. Their families now left behind mourning the loss, paying the cost of war. Mothers hold bags of their children. Another one seen holding her dead daughter's picture, sitting helpless during the last rites. These visuals here are testament of how the war in Iran has taken a turn for the worse. Republic is inside Iran, and these photographs should move everyone watching. Graves lined up for the youngest victims of this ruthless war. It was this Tomahawk missile, otherwise highly accurate, all-weather weapon, error probability of just 5 to 10 meters. It was aimed to kill. It is made to hit targets even in the most highly defended airspace. Watch how this missile was a double tap, which means it hit once and they waited for a second strike as children gathered inside a hall in the school. It was hit to kill, something Trump shrugs off, as Iran's doing.
You just suggested that Iran somehow got its hands on a tomahawk and bombed its own elementary school on the first day of the war. But you're the only person in your government saying this. Even your defense secretary wouldn't say that when he was asked, standing over your shoulder on your plane on Saturday. Why are you the only person saying this?
Because I just don't know enough about it. I think it's something that I was told is under investigation. But tomahawks are used by others, as you know. Numerous other nations have tomahawks. They buy them from us. But I will certainly, whatever the report shows, I'm willing to live with that report.
Only today, at least 40 civilians were killed in a strike aimed at 2 residential buildings in Iran. On the other side of the war, in Israeli capital Tel Aviv, at least 13 have been killed and dozens other injured after Iranian cluster bombs rained multiple strikes on residential areas. Meanwhile, in Beirut, Lebanon, Israeli hits have killed over 500 people and displaced over 7 lakhs of them. A war that started as a war of words between world leaders has quickly escalated to become a war between people. Civilians paying the real price of the war between countries and their militaries.
Ladies and gentlemen, General G.D. Bakshi from India, Tatiana Kukareva from Moscow, Dr. Syed Imamian from Tehran, Polytechnic University from Tehran, Miland Rabbani, former Iranian diplomat and political expert from Tehran, Richie Greenberg is a Republican and political commentator from San Francisco, Mark Zell, he's joining us from Jerusalem, and Vibhuti Jha is a Republican from New York. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all into this debate. And I would like to start with by saying that I have some visuals from Minab in Iran, where it is now proved that Trump killed 160 Iranian schoolgirls were killed by the American military. 160 Iranian schoolgirls were killed by the American CENTCOM, and the American military has killed them, and it is now proven. And ladies and gentlemen, this is unbelievable what America has done. And these are pictures of the bodies of these schoolgirls being carried. I hope, please take the exclusive tag off it. I hope people in America are watching this, because this is the kind of great war that America has fought. I have no doubt in saying tonight that as I see these pictures of a mother holding her dead daughter's photo during the last rites in Minab in Iran, that America has lost the war. America has lost this war. Trump has lost the war. And this was deliberate. Mothers of 160 children, ladies and gentlemen, watch this. This is no war. This is an attempt that Trump has done to kill people to satisfy his gigantic and ridiculously large ego. These are graves of small children. Some of them, Richie, are 5 years old. 5 years old. And when I see the ugly words of Pete Hegseth saying, I don't care about humanity, I don't care about people, I must win. As of tonight, Richie, prayers are continuing. Many of the parents are breaking down. Prayers are continuing. And can I run those pictures? Because I want Richie on the screen. These are children in body bags. These, Richie, are children in body bags. Can I run only those visuals and not of the pictures of Trump, please, producers? Thank you. You see that, Richie? I'll run the pictures for you. You need to see, because you will not see this on CNN. You will not see this on Fox News. This is what America has done, and they have done it deliberately. There is an investigation going on, and the American media has reported that the investigation has determined that the US military sent the Tomahawk missile strike on the Iranian military school. And then after killing the school children deliberately, you lied about it and you said, no, the Iranians carried out friendly fire. You lost the war, Richie.
All right, may I speak now, Arnab?
Yep.
All right, thank you very much for inviting me, and good evening. I also am seeing the same breaking news headline that just came out about a half hour ago through the New York Times. And this is a tragedy, of course. There's no pleasure anyone in America, anyone in the world would have any joy over this, would celebrate this. No one would, no matter what side you're taking on this war, or not taking any sides. I mean, that's for sure.
This is cowardice, Richie. To target school children, to teach the people of Iran a lesson.
That's where, respectfully, Arnab, we're going to disagree on this. By saying the word deliberately, that is incorrect. From all the accounts, it says that it was a mistake. That it was determined. I'm reading probably the same report. You and I are probably looking at the same report. No. It says a Tomahawk missile was launched and struck using outdated data. In other words, the targeting was what was the mistake.
Richie, one minute.
I'm just
I need to pause this. I need to pause this for a minute.
Okay.
Because imagine this was done to an American elementary school. And just one minute. And the people who did it, no, I want to run the bite. Please, I want to bring in the Iranians tonight. Imagine this happened to an American elementary school and the Minister for War of the government that attacked an American military school using artificial intelligence, latest technology, blah, blah, tech bro, Silicon Valley, blah, blah, rubbish, would end up saying, listen, we don't have time for international institutions, morality, democracy, people. We just fight to win. We want the oil. What if you'd been on the receiving side? No. No, 1 minute. I want to bring in Milan Rabbani. This is getting extremely serious. You have lost the war. You have lost. There is no supposition. There is no supposition. There is no supposition. You are saying you got wrong data? So you pinpointed a Tomahawk strike? You want me to believe that? That was the same data. Well, 1 minute. You used the same data to target Ayatollah Khamenei. You know who you want to strike. That was the same data, same technology you used to kill Ayatollah Khamenei. You know who you want to kill. You wanted to kill Ayatollah Khamenei and you wanted to kill the schoolgirls. I want to bring in Milan Rabbani and Dr. Imamian. No, I want to hear the view from Tehran. How do you read this incident? The Americans now saying we made a mistake. Would you want to take that, Mr. Rabbani? Dr. Imamian, can you hear me? Mr. Rabbani, either of you? Yeah.
I'm hearing you very well.
Go ahead, sir.
So, as you mentioned, this is not acceptable at all, that it would be a mistake. And we know that Israelis and Americans, both, and particularly Israelis, have been very much well known internationally by committing genocide. In last 2 years, they have been convicted to genocide by all international courts, and particularly the Prime Minister and
I got to stop you right there.
So
no. You got to stop with that genocide crap. No genocide. You got to stop that. I'm not going to let you speak if you keep with that
their supporters in Washington.
Genocide, that is anti-Semitic,
such a catastrophe
that is garbage. We all know that is a garbage. You cannot keep bringing up that crap of
Richie, may I share one thing with you?
Stop with that.
Right, Richie, first of all, I tell you this. See, Richie, I must let you know today that Donald Trump is seeking an exit from this war by saying I won. I'm saying he's lost.
No, he is not.
He's lost. First of all, one minute. Richie, see. This attack on the schoolgirls was a double tap, which means, and let me explain to you, Mark and Vibhuti, how it happens. You first fire a missile, then you see the impact of the missile, then you see where the missile lands and where people move, then you target the place where they have moved to. When the Tomahawk hit, they saw the schoolgirls moving into another building, and then another hall, then they targeted it again. So the maximum damage, they wanted to kill more schoolgirls. What else is it? How can this be a mistake? Vibhuti, Mark, how can this be a mistake with all your technology, all your missiles, all your targeting, all your human intelligence, signal intelligence? How is this a mistake?
Are you asking me to respond?
Yeah, please go ahead. Yes, Mark.
Well, this is kind of this is the first time I've been on your show, Arnab, and I must say it's pretty sad example of a debate. This is not a debate. This is kind of like a verbal firing squad. You've got your own, you've made your own conclusions here, and you are shouting at them to the Indian people who know better. Your prime minister knows better. Your government knows better. These kids that were killed now, that's a horrible tragedy. But I'm an Israeli and an American. And I can tell you that in this war, there have been also horrible numbers of children killed by Iranian missiles, including cluster bombs, for God's sakes. And including in the very street where my children live. I have 24 grandchildren living here in Israel. All of us are running into shelters because of the indiscriminate Iranian bombing every single day, multiple times a day. 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. This is not something that happened, this tragedy that you're pointing to, and you continue to lambast everybody here that supports Donald Trump, that happened on the very first day of this war, February 28th. It is a horrible tragedy, and whoever is responsible for it will have to be held accountable in accordance with the laws of war and international law. That's proper, and that investigation that will be finalized. Right now we have a preliminary report. It is wrong that these children had to die. It is wrong when Israeli children have to die. And it's wrong when Emirati children and Saudi children have to die. That is,
Mark,
this is what Pete had said.
Mark,
the secretary. You let me talk. I've listened to you.
No, you don't have to get so worked up, Mark. You don't have to get so worked up, Mark.
You are not debating, sir.
You don't have to get so worked up, Mark.
No.
You must be open to listening to the other side.
If you want to have a fair discussion about this,
but
you let me finish.
But Mark, there's no need to try and get. There's no need to try and get aggressive. I can hit it. I can be aggressive in turn. I'm being polite because you're older.
Tragic event. You have focused on it to the exclusion of everything else that's going on in this war.
Really, Mark? Mark, 1 minute.
Years of war between
Mark,
the United
Mark,
States
let me
and
tell you
Iran.
one thing. Let me tell you one thing. No. You are making it personal, so I'm going to have to listen to me in turn. Mark, listen to me. Listen to me. Well, let me listen. Yeah, 1 minute.
You are defending.
Yeah, you need to listen now. Mark, I hear you. 1 minute. Calm down. Calm down. You are losing it.
No.
You are losing it. You don't need to get angry. Yes, you need to calm down.
Me calm down?
Yeah, I'll tell you why.
You have monopolized this discussion. 47 years of consistent war, 47 years of attempting to destroy, in the words of the Iranian regime. It's why they came to power. It was one of the pillars of their excuses for kicking out all other persons that wanted to participate in the ruling of Iran after the Shah was deposed. This regime that you're defending here indirectly or directly has been responsible for attempting to destroy Israelis, Jews, all Americans all over the world. I'm talking about 94 children in a community center in Buenos Aires in 1994. Just one out of thousands of examples.
Okay, now,
really,
when you're finished, I'll tell you.
If you want to put this
when you're finished, I'll respond to you.
That's your obligation, sir.
No, when you're finished, I'll respond to you. When you're finished, I'll respond to you. Mark, now if you're finished, I'll respond to you, but I would request you to be reasonable. I listen to you in entirety and I'll respond to you in absolute detail.
You interrupted me,
I want to tell you, I'd say one thing to you. I'd say one thing. No. Mark, listen to me. First of all, just hear me, all right? Couple of things you need to understand here today. That we speak on incidents. I do not have any position to take this way or that, and I'll tell you why. Because when the CNN and Western media reporters were busy hiding in their hotel rooms in Kiev, too scared to come out, everyone on. My reporters of the Republic Media Network, the largest independent news network of Asia, were in Bucha. And Tatiana Kukareva will remember that at that point of time I asked, what were the Russians doing? Why have 458 bodies been found? Why were children killed in Bucha? What was Bucha? What was their fault? So I have no bone to pick in this fight. You don't know me, Mark. I was the one who stood. You don't know. 1 minute. You are shouting at me and about to burst an artery because of the questions I've asked on one incident, which I feel bad, and you should feel bad too. If you're worried about your children, then think about those who have lost their children in that attack in Minab. And be fair. And be fair. Don't say, Mark, don't say it's all right. It's all right. It's not all right, Mark. It's not all right, Mark. It's not all right.
No, it is. You have
it's not all right.
You have completely disoriented the discussion.
No, I have not. I have just shown. I have shown a mirror tonight, Mark.
Independent television network in Asia, as you said, are doing your people, the 1.5 billion people of India, great people.
Well, the people of India know me better. You don't have to. Mark, you don't have to sit in Jerusalem and tell me whether the people of America should support me or not. I am talking about an episode. I do not care. I do not. 1 minute. Now, Mark. Now, listen, Mark. I must understand here. Like you say, for your military purpose, people are collateral damage. For my purpose,
my military purpose,
your country's military purpose, Pete Hegseth's military purpose,
I'm a civilian, sir.
Yeah, you may
I'm
be.
the father of 24
Yeah, but you said you're an
grandchildren,
American,
8
so
children.
I assume you listen to Pete Exit. Did you listen to Pete Exit? Did you listen to the Superman video that he put out? Did you see him put a picture of himself and the Transformers next to each other like he's making a Hollywood movie? I want Pete Exit to have the moral courage to put pictures of the 160 children, schoolgirls he's killed, and put his soundbite next to it.
You're doing it for him. Oh, come on. You have put this entire discussion.
Well, Mark, what was the argument you had? 1 minute, I haven't finished. No, 1 minute. I didn't begin this with Mark, but I want to say one thing before I hand it over to the other panelists, because I have no intention of monopolizing the debate with you. Did you not say?
Did you hear that?
1 minute, Mark. Did you not say, did I not say, after October 7th, that those were young men and women at a music concert? There were young men and women at a music concert. Why did the Hamas kill them? They were non-combatants, sir. I fought for you then. Now, because I'm questioning you, you say I have no right to speak. I shall speak.
So now you're
and I do not need the approval of any person to give my point of view. And please realize, sir, the questions will be asked.
Sir, but you just need to get your facts straight.
My facts are very right, sir. You're not able to confront my facts, Mark. You're not comfortable with my description of the facts.
You put your facts on the line, and I will discuss.
Well, I will tell you the history of every CIA director since
October 7th.
This
whole contest with Iran. This whole contest with Iran, this war with Iran.
So why did you kill the school children?
Of October 7th.
So why did you kill the school children?
Oh, come on.
Come on.
You have no proof, none whatsoever, that was a deliberate act, as tragic as it was. You have no proof of that's the case. You are simply.
I'm just glad, Mark.
You're an ideologue, sir.
Mark, listen.
You are worse than the people
listen.
at
Okay,
CNN.
I'm a terrible person, but at least I got you to admit it was the American army that killed them. Because 2 days back you didn't say that.
I'll tell you something.
Everyone on, please. I'll open the debate. Let GD Bakshi come in. Let Tatiana Kukareva come in. It's not between you and me, sir. I'm not even worked up. I'm angry at what the Americans have done.
Hashtag stop war on people. This is not a war on people. You think the Israeli Air Force is attacking 500 missions every day?
Okay, now I'll pull back and let Tatiana in.
Go ahead. Come on.
Oh, come on. Seriously, yes, of course, come on.
Arnab,
That's a very good,
we are
that's
also
a very good line to
man.
say, you know. Can we please put up the numbers of victims? I'm sorry, but if you're saying that this is not a war on people, then there should be less casualties, fewer casualties, right, on the Iranian side? I mean, we like to say that this is, we like to say that this is a war, but it's, you know, that's indiscriminate bombing. That Donald Trump calls an excursion, and that the Israeli government is using to push back the Iranian nuclear program and the Iraqi
government trying to do?
What is the Israeli government trying to do?
You're like in a surreal world. You're like a world of lies. The Israeli Air Force is targeting children. What a bunch of baloney. Tell me how many civilians in Tehran have been killed by the Israeli Air Force, madam. Tell me. You can't, because they're
not being targeted. They are not being targeted directly. Israel or the United States is not targeting civilians. They're targeting military targets. They're targeting missile launchers. They are not targeting civilians. And again, we have said on this program
all
today,
sides are targeting civilians.
Tragedy that happened.
All sides are targeting civilians. All sides are targeting. All sides are targeting civilians. Both sides are targeting civilians. Now, come on, Mark and Richie. If you're saying that that's a lie, let me counter you.
Targeting civilians.
Yeah, I'd say both sides are targeting civilians. Now, can I, Mark, say something without you elaborating your personal diatribe on me repeatedly? I am just trying to remain focused. You're trying to take the subject off in a rhetorical direction. I'm trying to keep it laser focused.
Just trying to put it into a historical.
I'd say this to you. I'd say, yes, both sides are targeting civilians. I tell you.
No,
that is not true.
No, they are not. That is not true.
Okay, you just want to say not true? You just want to say not true? Think about a moment about
what was targeted, Arnab, may I say, what was targeted was the 40,000 Iranians in Tehran.
All right.
The 40,000 that were killed.
Okay, 1 minute, do that. That's Dr. Imamiam has come in. Dr. Imamiam.
Their country.
Yeah, as I said, we don't know to discuss about such a thing that has been convicted internationally, Benjamin Netanyahu as a genocidal leader. And he has been convicted by all international courts.
There was no genocide. That is a ridiculous talking point. You have to stop with that genocide.
And validated by all international courts. So that's the case.
It's not acceptable to bring up genocide.
That they have been very much committed genocide for last few years.
And those are ridiculous talking points.
It's not at least something concerning for them. In my view, that's the nature of the behavior that Zionist regime is built upon genocide, occupation.
No genocide. You gotta stop with that genocide.
So,
no genocide word.
In the region, that we are hearing from the
It does not meet the definition of genocide. You're just making this up.
It's not only that the court specifically said it was not genocide.
In the region. They have already occupied Palestinian land. And
if that is the case, I want to ask my guest in Tehran before I go to General Bakshi. General Bakshi, just coming to you. Milant, can you hear me? Milant Rabbani ji, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Do you want me to start?
Yeah, I would like you to come into the debate. I have one question. I said that everyone is targeting civilian. There are civilian targets which are being laser focused on. If not, why was there a drone attack on the Dubai airport again today?
Thank you for your program, and thank you for our colleagues who participate in this program. I want to bring you something into your attention, but I want to ask you and all of my colleagues, my friends, to something. Please, in 3 minutes, give me 3 minutes and don't interrupt me. And after that, I'm ready to hear any criticize and I will answer you. First of all, I'm very sorry. I was very affected by this incident, and killing the children is a tragedy in everywhere, every part of the world, in Iran, in Gaza, in Yugoslavia, in Arabic countries. It's a tragedy, but I want to ask you, do you know what is the biggest massacre in human history? I want to give you some numbers. You know how many people have been died in Srebrenica? It was 8,000 people in 5 days. And even in Israel, when Israel started killing people in Gaza, it was around 60,000 people in 2 years. In Iran, no one knows, still we don't know. There is many aspects of this incident and this massacre unveiled and is secret. We don't know still, but between 30,000 to 50,000 people have been died in only 2 days. So it is a unique massacre in human history. And I want to bring you into your attention. And I want to tell you, one of the tactics that Iranian regime has got is they resort to the crisis to solve the crisis. This is their strategy. They use human shield, and now it is their last resort. You know, this regime will not be destroyed by air attack, by air raid. What can destroy this regime is the people, is knowledge, is democracy, that this can destroy the regime. So we see this regime don't want to face the US or Israel with all of its power. They put all of its powers to suppress the people because they know people will come to the streets. And I want to tell you one of their tactics that you see in the Mina. In Mina, some civilians, some children died, and they killed some children. Some children were killed, okay, at least. And it's very sad for me. But now they are using mosques as their basement because they know how to manipulate, how to provoke people. They want US and attack the mosques because they want to use religion again. They want to provoke people. Oh, look, they are attacking to the mosque. They are anti-Islam. They kill innocent people in the mosque. But they use this. I know them better than. But let me tell you. Let me. Sorry.
It's interesting, Milan, that you are saying that it's. You just mentioned the killing of 160 schoolgirls for 5 seconds, and then you made your political point. It's
no.
But they are Iranians.
It's not political.
It's okay.
Let me tell you. I told you it will be continue. We will observe in the new days, in the upcoming days. We will observe it again. Many civilians will die, and why they are dying? I want to ask you. Who started this war? Yes, Trump attacked. No one can deny that. But who provoked him to do that? Why Trump doesn't attack to India? Why doesn't attack to the, for example, Pakistan? Why doesn't attack to North Korea? Because of that regime. I want to tell you, until that regime existed in the region, no one can face peace.
Okay, now what is your comment on these visuals? These are live visuals coming in from Tehran. Milan, you are saying that there is no support for the present government in Iran. These pictures that you're seeing from Tehran, who are these people?
This picture reminds me of Venezuela before collapse, or reminds me of Syria. I remember in Syria people came on the street and they support Bashar Assad, but after 2 weeks Bashar Assad escaped. Or in Venezuela, I remember.
So you
feel how many people have been killed in Syria since Bashar Assad escaped the country? Do you know how many people have been killed by the current democratic government installed by the US and its proxies in the country?
Many people died. I don't know the exact number, but I know.
Why did they die? Why did they die? Were they military, or were they just not the right kinds of Muslims, for instance?
Okay, I'm going to General Bakshi. One second. I'm going to General Bakshi. I made a point earlier which some of our American guests did not like when I said that both sides are killing civilians. And I was told, how can you say that? I'm saying it's true. Because the Iranians are targeting Bahrain's water desalination plant. That's why they are targeting civilians. Iranians are doing it. Iranians are hitting Abu Dhabi Zayed airport. People died there. People were injured there. Iranians continue to target the Dubai airport, and the scale of attacks on civilian targets by Iran is there, but the scale of targets of civilian targets by Americans is large scale. Large scale. You can say it's wrong, okay, 1,332 people have not died as the Iranian Red Crescent Society reports, but have ordinary people not been killed? Can anyone say tonight? Have ordinary people not died? Have truck drivers not died? Have medical facilities not been?
Deliberate. Your point is that it was deliberate killing, Arnab. That's your point.
Yes.
Sir.
Okay, General Bakshi
I
will
was
debate with you.
also invited
General
to this
Bakshi.
panel, sir.
General Bakshi.
And if I can have my say, I'd be very grateful. Look, two wrongs do not make a right. I'd say this to my Israeli friend. Two wrongs do not make a right. Right? When we were in the midst of the Ukrainian war at its peak, we heard no end of Busha. What a massacre, what a slaughter. You know, and Putin needs to be taken to the criminal court of justice. 42 bodies were dug out from Busha. Your cameras went there, Arnab. 160 Iranian girls. Are they terrorists? Are they terrorists? I want to
ask Mark, ask Vibhuti, ask Richie.
Don't ask me. There is not a word of apology. There is not a
word of they are not
General Bakshi and Mark.
Terrorism.
They are not.
1 minute, sir.
Clearly, they are not.
1 minute, sir.
Nobody is saying that they are terrorists.
We in India have faced terrorism.
General Bakshi,
Please let me have my say. I heard you with a great amount of patience. We in India have suffered 82,000 people killed because of Pakistani terror. And your president calls that Field Marshal Asim Munir the architect of the Pahalgam massacre, thrice to the White House to make a big deal out of him. Sir, don't give us this hypocrisy. What are you trying to say?
Mark Ritchie.
Indian lives don't matter? Oh, bloody well they do. Oh, bloody well they do. And we will not have hypocrisy. It's not only American lives that matter. It is not only Israeli lives that matter. We worry about the Israelis. They are our friends.
It's also
Therefore,
Iranian.
we sympathize with them.
Okay, Richie. Richie's responding.
The Americans first attack. No. 1 second, sir. Let me finish. The Americans attack Venezuela. Then they want to attack Iran. Then they want to attack Cuba. Then they want to take
they want to attack Cuba next.
Then they want to make Canada the 51st state. The 51st state of the United States. Where will all this end, man? At least the previous American presidents used to couch their attacks in very
the language of
rhetoric,
diplomacy, yeah.
Very good rhetoric, like freedom, democracy. Are you trying to bomb
He was a terrible
the Iranian
president.
people into happiness and freedom? Happiness and freedom? 160 girls, man. You should be ashamed.
40.
You should be ashamed.
Okay, 1 minute. Mark and Richie, General Bakshi. I'll hear the other side. I'll let Mark and Richie come in. Mark.
He went to the White House. He went to Jerusalem. He held the hands of our Prime Minister and the President of the United States. And we have a close alliance and friendship with the Indian people, your people. Despite all the things that you're saying, I'm not getting into the Pakistani thing. That's something between you and Pakistan. But I will say that we have a bond between Israel, the United States, and India to build a new world, to build a place where those schoolgirls won't be targeted, won't be killed.
Which means you admit they were targeted. Which means you admit they were targeted. You just admitted they were targeted.
You stop that.
You just said that.
I did not.
You just said they won't be targeted.
I said
This is how the
killed.
problem
I went
starts.
parenthesis, comma, and bracket on your statement, sir.
Okay, you know, this is what they call in English gotcha journalism.
No,
okay?
you were not. You said in a world where they won't be targeted.
I say they were not targeted. I by mistake began to use your word.
Another mistake by you.
Which I deny. But India, Israel, and the United States, and the Gulf states who've been attacked, as you and yourself indicated, indiscriminately by the Iranians, all are trying to build a better place in the Middle East. And by the way,
the
lady
Abraham
who's talking
Accord.
about Syria,
The Abraham
How can you
Accord.
build a better place with bombs, Mr. Zell? Tell me, please.
What's
I'm
that?
dying to know.
Yeah, what's the question?
How can you build a better
Vibhuti
place
on the
by
right.
bombs and destruction?
Vibhuti.
Because after 40 or 50,000 Iranians were massacred by their own government,
What is
after
not America's
thousands of
business?
us were subject. Excuse me. You asked the question.
How is
I'm
that
going to tell
America's
you.
business?
I'll tell you how. Because thousands of Americans were killed by Iranian regime IEDs. You know what an IED is? It's shaped charges that caused the death of thousands of American soldiers, wounding thousands of others. Also indiscriminate attacks back in April of 2024 against Israel. Not against military targets, against house and other houses in Israel.
That is not America's business. That is an attack against Israel.
Iran has been doing. That is what the regime is about, and the point
Anyway, see,
was
now,
when
Vibhuti,
all of those thousands of
now,
people
Vibhuti,
went to the streets in
Vibhuti,
December and in
Thank you, Arnab,
January,
Vibhuti.
Thank you for letting me come in.
I'm not
a few things here.
West
This is
to help
exactly
them.
how
Yeah,
the hypocrisy begins in the first place.
It is very
because we
important
have
for India, Israel, and America. This is very important to bear in mind. I'm very happy to hear the Iranian gentleman talk about the killings of 40,000 plus Iranians by this regime. The question is very important here.
I said that too.
Every single tragedy, war, results in unfortunate mistakes, unfortunate civilian casualties. This is one of them. And nobody can justify that. No sane person can justify innocent lives lost. And this must apply universally. It's not be only one side. every single, and Arnab, you were right in pointing out the civilian targets made by Iran in many other GCC countries. This is what is unfortunate. What is important,
I have some visuals, breaking news visuals coming in. There's a huge explosion that has just happened. This is coming from visuals full frame. This is from one of the, 1 minute, I'll tell you the location, latest visuals from Qom in Iran. There's just been a huge attack in Qom in Iran. We're seeing a gigantic fireball go up. This is the heart of Shia Islamic studies in Qom in Iran. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the most influential political centers in Iran. Many top clerics live there.
It's also a place where civilians were massacred between December and January of 2025 and 26, okay? And you look at that explosion.
So you're firing more, you want to kill more civilians?
That is never going to end, Arnab. This is the problem.
Military target. Yeah, that's a military target. Probably a whole...
Which military target?
I have one question for you, gentlemen, my dearest American people. I have one very big question. Why is it that when Russia does that in Ukraine, this is terrorism? You're doing it in Iran, and this is democracy. Explain it to me. I'm sorry. English is not my first language.
What about the Iranian regime killing 40,000 people who are opposed to the government?
Let's talk about Russia.
Who has made the lives of the Iranian people miserable? Who has made the lives of the Iranian people miserable?
American
sanctions for the last 47 years.
Here's a question.
If you cared so much,
Here's a question to our American panelists.
For the Iranian people.
To our American panelists who are reminding us about
would you impose sanctions?
I still remember.
Which hurt the Iranian people?
I still remember. What is it? We have one more visual which has come in of Iran striking a port which has just come in. This is a port of Salalah in Oman. So the war has become very intense.
That's one of their best allies. They're the ones that try to prevent this war. You see what they're doing? It's a regime out of control. They've gone nuts. They've gone crazy. They're bombing everybody for no reason, including the people that tried to help them.
Sir, you bombed out their top leadership.
What had Oman got to do for Iran to
bombed
attack
out their top political leadership.
Ladies and gentlemen, I say this that please remember, sir, on the day, I appeal to your conscience, if for nothing else, and I hope it's there somewhere. Mark, I hope somewhere today after this conversation you find your conscience, and I want to ask you that on 31st...
Wait a minute, sir. Are you saying that I don't have a conscience?
I said I'm sure that you'll find it back. I'm sure it's there. If it wasn't there, I wouldn't have said that.
My people, somebody said that the
sir, on the day when Moscow, on the day,
people in Iran.
Sir, on the day,
6 million.
Sir, on the day Moscow,
on
the day, 1 minute, sir, on the day Moscow attacked Kiev and 24 people died, Trump said that what Putin is doing is disgusting. He said when the history of this era is written, Putin's war on Ukraine would have left Russia weaker and the rest of the world stronger. Today people will say when the history of this era is written, Trump's war on Iran will have left America weaker and the rest of the world stronger. Today you need to understand, did Trump not call Putin a murderous dictator who's waging an immoral war against the people of Ukraine? Does that similarly apply to you, or is everything that you do right?
No, come on.
Are you suggesting that America should bomb Russia?
No, I'm saying that you are doing exactly what you said you would never do. Remember, you came with a mandate. You forgot, Richie? No more wars, no more wars, no more wars, never more wars. I'm a war ender, but I didn't
You
get
know
the
what he
Nobel
did?
Prize, so I don't care now.
He went to your country and when they were going to have a nuclear war.
No, sir, he did not. If you
put
believe in what Trump says,
okay?
you must understand you're dealing with the
Come on.
third largest army in the world. Please, sir, learn your lesson from Iran. Learn your lesson.
I'm going to learn from Iran. The one thing I learned from Iran is never to allow an Iranian regime or any other regime run by theological lunatics.
I'm saying I remember there was a
to arise in the Middle East or
Secretary of
any place
State called
else in the
Antony
world.
Blinken
That's true.
who chimed in
Would be a little bit
2022
more
that targeting
careful.
civilians is a war crime. By that logic, American Antony Blinken logic, you've carried out a war crime in Menab, sir. Please own up to it.
Absolutely. And continue to
Absolutely.
carry
You see
it
that?
out.
That's what you say. Oh, come on.
Mark, General Bakshi here.
I'm willing. Look, I'll go head to toe with you.
Okay, I'm overshooting the time.
You want to ignore reality?
No,
You want to
Mark,
ignore
please.
100 years of history?
Mark, you can,
47
Mark,
years
you
of
are,
history?
Mark, this is now, I tell you tonight, somewhere, America now has the responsibility of ending a war it started. You're not winning this, Mark. You just need to end it.
We are winning it, my friend, and we are winning it big.
Of course not, you're not winning it.
And you'll see in a very short period of time what that means when we've done allow the people of Iran to finally rise up and determine their own destiny. That's what we're doing.
The people of Iran are in the
The
streets
President
right
of the
now.
United States
We have
is
a lot
great
of
Okay,
man.
ladies and gentlemen, I've run short of time.
We have
It's been a hot
lot of sympathy for the Israeli.
Yeah, we do,
But
and
the
support
Israeli
for them, but not
I
what
want
the
your
Americans are
sympathy,
doing.
sir.
Ladies and
We
gentlemen,
have
this is our, we end with the visuals, the breaking news visuals of this very moment tonight. Full frame on your screen, the pictures from Oman, and on the other side tonight, the pictures that have come in from the city of Qom. Stop the war on the people, it's only getting worse. But if it's solace, remember, after it gets worse, it gets much better. I'll see you tomorrow, same time. Good night and goodbye.
Time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.